Hello everyone and welcome to Gnomelands with me, the Gnome. Today we are at my base where I've been doing a little bit of digging because 1.14 is basically out, and in which villager trading is going to have quite a bit of an update. So the villagers are no longer going to be satisfied by, let me just jump up here, by roaming around in a pit with a little bit of crops. And I had this set up where the little villager babies just walk underneath and fall down below where they are gathered and they can be sorted out. And I'm not gonna open the door because they're just gonna come out like a flood. So they're collected down here in a little bit of water, and yeah, so I can go in and sort them in there. But in 1.14, that's no longer going to be possible because villagers, first of all, need a bed to sleep in, and second of all, they need a workstation to be able to update their trading. So if you max out a trade, they need basically they need the workstation to gather new things you can trade. They trade with, and they can only do that about twice a day. So we are going to change this cave into a little magical village with some crystals hanging down from the ceilings. We got a little pond over here. We can put in some greenery and build some little bit of houses for the villagers, put in some beds, put in some workstations, and so on and so on. So yeah, I'm gonna start by I think I'm going to start by planning out where we're going to build some houses, and yeah, and I will bring you back after that. So I've been planning out some houses and a little bit of other things. For example, here we have some carrots. We have some potatoes over here. This is going to be a well. And yeah, this is the lower floor here. This is going to be an animal pen, maybe with some magical sheep in there. The ones that change color. I think you call them, you name tag them Jep or something like that, Jep underscore, and they will actually change color. Up here, I'm planning out a bit of a smithing area. And we got some weeds growing up here. This area in here is where the villages, villager babies are falling into. That's all going to be dug out at some point. But the entire area has to be absolutely spawn-proof before I do that. And this is the idea of the house that we are going to be building. It's a bit plain at the moment, but I'm hoping with a bit of detailing, like maybe having some flowers growing outside under the windows and stuff like that. A bit of vines and yeah, it's gonna look a little bit better. So basically at the moment it's just like it is spruce pillars, there's stripped oak walls. I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with the ceiling in here. As you can see, the outside is like right there. So yeah, I gotta come up with something. Maybe I'm gonna like terraform some extra mountain on top on the outside. Yeah, and then been building a bit of a staircase up here with a bit of like it's been chiseled into some rocks. Um, Over there's going to be a corner house, a small house here. It's built like pushed in between the two layers. Got a couple of small windows in here. Yeah, basically the houses are just gonna be filled with pets. I believe there needs to be a minimum of 4 pets for the villagers to consider it a village, and a double house here. I'm thinking with a rounding roof going up towards the back, and yeah, and a small house here. So yeah, this is the progress so far. Haven't done anything with the pond because there's of course going to be a lot more room when we dig out the room that is behind here. Yeah, so I'm gonna get cracking and then I will bring you back. So, as you can see, I have been very busy and I got most of the houses more or less done. Also, I have managed to do sky access for most of them. Well, actually, except this one, it's a bit herky-jerky because just this corner of the roof is in the way, but I can't put it further towards the building because there are buildings upstairs too. But besides that one, they all got sky access. Well, they got sky access now. So that all of these doors works as village doors. So the ones that we have upstairs from the previous village isn't the only ones, because then they will probably just group up around that area and not really use the area down here. Also, I have been putting a little bit of details on the houses, and I was still thinking that something was missing. So on a house upstairs, I just simply went and put in a bit of a porch-like area, just like that, and just like that, the whole thing changes, and it looks so much more interesting. I think it's funny that that little thing there can change so much. Also, inside this house, I managed to squeeze in a little bit of a second floor up here. And let's go have a look around. What else do we have? Yeah, I started doing some cliff formations like coming out. You can see more of those up here. Just go around. See, here we have, and just ignore that building because that might change to being going outwards in as a square instead of going inwards in an L shape. So, because I can't really make the roof look good. And you have the roof from beneath here, and some rock formations coming out. Upstairs, I haven't really gotten to this house. They put in a slight bit more rock formations around it. Yeah, and we got a smaller house here, and oh, I'm missing windows up here, I can see. And a bit of a roof in a wave going across this double house. And that was one of the houses. Which one was that? It's probably downstairs. Let me just quickly run down there. I think it's the one over here that is actually larger on the inside than it is on the outside. So I made the roof in a slope like this, and I actually think that looks really, really good. So all that is missing now is a whole ton of beds for the villagers, and when 1.14 comes out, of course we're gonna need the town bell. Ooh, I see a skeleton. Gonna need a town bell and all of the workstations. Oh, you saw me. There you are. Yep, got it. So now the question is, where did you spawn? Yeah, that is the question. It just seems to be a lot of light up here. But I can figure that out in another time. So yeah, yeah, we're going to have to put in some grass down here so we can make some pathways around. Some grass in here for the sheep, and yeah, I'm going to build up the rest of the well, and yeah, and after that we are probably going to do some more rock formations and some crystals with some light in, just so you don't have to spam all of these torches all over the place. Well, of course, when 1.14 comes out, I'm thinking that you can hang some lanterns from the roof, like on these places, like here and here. I think that would look really good. Okay, I will get cracking with the floor, and yeah, and I will bring you back to show you what's been going on. So just a quick update so you can see what I'm thinking. I have built a small staircase here and put in a little bit of rock formations, and I'm keeping some of the rocks going out like this because it's an underground area. So can I please? No, cannot do that one because there's a. So just gonna throw in some path blocks here and there, just like this, and occasional coarse dirt. Yeah, and yeah, and I put in some leaves here because they actually are transparent, and letting them grow down like this, it disguises that that there's actually a bit of the roof missing, as I talked about earlier. So yeah. Oh yeah, and another thing is putting in this like a density in the floor like this. I think that looks really good. Also, it does make this area, these tiny areas, spawn proof. Yeah. So let me just crack on and make the rest, and I will bring you back to so you can see the final results. And that was the last bet, and the houses are now full of colorful beds, one for every person's liking, so no reason not to sleep. And I also finished up all the houses and closed up the gap that was right up here. This house has also been more or less finished up. Gonna be some lines and stuff coming down from the sky access for the doors. And let's just close the door there. In here. And what else have I been doing? Yeah, I've been doing all the pathways. We did the roof on this building over here. Lowered the building, the height of it, so there was more room for a roof. It does look a bit weird because it is the building is one wider on the right hand side than it is on the left hand side. So, but I do think it, when you do look at it from this angle, it just actually looks quite good. And yeah, so that's about it. Uh, we've got a station here where, of course, there's going to be a stone cutter when 1.14 comes out, and a workbench for the toolsmith. Put in a small shed-looking roof here. I was thinking that could be a workplace for the Fletcher or something like that. And yeah, so, and you can see I've started doing a bit of the rocks coming down from the ceiling, and there's of course going to be some crystals as well. Did some up here, didn't know if you noticed. Actually took off a bit of the roof and put in some more stones. And yeah, we got pathways all the way around, except this way up here. That's probably going to come when I knock down the walls here and let them all out. So yeah. So next, probably be, let me finish off this well, and yeah, and I'll bring you back. So here we go. We now have a roof on our well and a little coffin as a bucket. And because this light level is too low up there, the roof is not spawnable, I just threw on some torches, but that's going to be temporary. And I have been gathering up some materials for doing some crystals, and as you can see here, I've chosen magenta and purple. That's going to be one kind, and then light blue and cyan as another color, and there's going to be some white as highlights, and we're going to need some light sources as well. Let me just grab some of this, and you can see what I'm thinking. They're gonna hang down from the ceiling, and there's gonna be some in the walls here as well. So if we throw down the light source there, maybe some magenta wool, and let's just throw in some different kind of colors of paints here. And maybe a little bit of some white as well. Maybe not that much white. Let's do something like that. Can't really see the wall that much on this one, but you're gonna be able to see that from the one dangling from down from the roof of the cave. So yeah, this is the idea. I could of course just remove that one up there, something like that. So yeah, let me do that, and I'll probably also throw in some more leaves hanging down from the ceiling, especially the area where there's a lot of dirt. So yeah, let me get cracking, and I will bring you back when I have, yeah, well, I guess when I've done my task. So changes has been made, and let's have a look around. As you can see, there are now crystals in the ceiling, vines are hanging down. Put in some mushroom lamps. There are some grass, some dark oak saplings, ferns, they're called. Let's have a look upstairs. And downstairs, it looks like this. thrown in some hay bales as well there, and yeah. So the next thing is going to be finding out if there are any spawnable blocks down here before we let out all of the villagers. It'd be such a shame if the zombie spawned in and turned every single one of them into zombie villagers. That is a bit too much work just to do that. So, yeah. So, yeah, that will be my next task. Also, when we do that, we can knock down the wall up here, and I'm planning to build out a small fishing pier with a little hut for the fishermen, and probably also deepen this pond over here. Of course, going to be some crystals from the ceiling and some vines hanging down. So yeah, let me do that, and I will be right back. And as you can see, we now have a much prettier pond. I've done the ceiling like the rest of the cave system. There's a couple of crystals on the walls, and I had to have slapped the floor because it is unfortunately a river biome, and therefore drowns can spawn in here. It's not completely done, but this episode has come to an end, so join me next time. We will be knocking down this wall around here, letting out the villagers, building a small fisherman's hut and pier. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, leave a like. You can consider subscribing, and you've been watching the Gnomelands with me, Snow, and until next time, cheers everyone.